welcome to the DDMM YouTube channel. My name is Andrew. Hope you're doing well this Tuesday evening. And it's time for another week of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport Series. Good evening to Trevor Randall, who's straight away there in the chat. Hope you're doing well, Trevor. And yeah, week 2 of the 4-week competition. We had a great cracking kick-off to season number 4 last week. If you missed that, you can go and watch that back here on the DDMM YouTube channel. And yeah, as I say, a very, very strong kick-off for this new season. Really looking forward to the mix of tracks, drivers and cars that we've got on show here this evening. And a bit of a first as well. We will have wet weather for the first time in this series, with the first race, the spec car race, being around Spa. And Mr. DeMilo has set the highest of challenges by, as I say, setting the conditions to wet this evening. And then we'll have the second race as well, which was an absolute thriller last week I should say. The 30-minute reverse grid Group 4 car of choice for all of the drivers. And so this week we're into Lagos, and we have had some drivers change their cars as well, so do look out for that. If you want to get involved, best way in the chat. We've got your messages coming in. Let us know who you're supporting. So we've got some of our drivers already in this evening. Good evening to Stephen Brule as well, of course, cheering on Callum Brule. Good to have you back in the chat, Stephen. Don't worry, you're not missing any action at the moment. We're slightly running behind schedule tonight, but we've got a view of the lobby and we're still in practice at the moment. So as you say, wet lobby tonight for the Spa race, and I'm just going to try and bring up our scores on the doors. Let's try and do that. So give us one moment and we'll get that on your screens, and have a little look at the, as I say, the standings after week 1. 2 races last weekend. Last week I should say. There we go. So Nathan Maximum top of the table at the moment, continuing his good form that he had in season 3. Ryan Sandel, champion from the first 2 seasons, there in second place. Very good start for the promoted Javier Gorostidi Turner. So great work from him last week. Look out for how he does here tonight. Tim Clark 4th, very consistent start, and took a podium in one of the races as well. Luke Battersby, Batters Racing Company, I know he's streaming tonight, so he'll be looking for another good one. Toby Nichols, Trevor Randall, Jack Cameron Drayton, Kirith Kalirai, who's also streaming tonight over on the Kirith Karts channel. Mark Ridout's wrapping out the top 10. Callum Brule looking to bounce back last week. I think he may have also changed car this week for the 30-minute race. Steve Brown, not sure if Steve's racing tonight. He wasn't able to be with us last week. I know he's been very, very busy with some of the Team Quadrant activities, which I'm going to keep stum on. But keep an eye out for things this coming weekend. That's all we're going to say on that one. Clubman Class as well we'll mention as well. They're running tonight over on the DW Media channel. Link in the description below, or at least it should be. After week 1, Martin Robinson, who's dropped into Clubman's for this season, he had a very good week last week, so he's top of the table in that one. Ollie Smith 2nd, Harry Neal 3rd, Sam Dibolo 4th, and Eric Mignon 5th. As I say, if you want to go and check that one out, do make sure that you head over to David Whitehouse's channel, where he's got all of that. Right, I think that's covered everything, so let's try and get into the lobby and show you some more interesting things on the screen. So as I say, we're in practice at the moment. You're not missing anything crucial at this time. I think there's just a couple of drivers that we're trying to get sorted out. Let us know if the sound levels are okay for you as well at home. But the Red Bull Junior, the spec car for this season, produced a race last week where qualifying was very, very important. Not that much overtaking in the race around Fuji last week, and especially with these wet conditions, And so, yeah, the qualifying session is going to be very important indeed. There's Tim Clark, who's currently your fastest driver in this session. There's Arthur M. Silver Arrow. Javier running well at the moment in second place in this practice session. I think we're just waiting for Ryan Sandel to hopefully connect. Thank you, Stephen, letting us know that the sound is all good. Qualifier is due to begin in a few seconds' time. Good evening to Tiger Tom as well, who's joining us in the chat. If you don't mind sharing the stream as well, guys, let people know that we're racing here this evening. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you as well to the new subscribers who've joined the DDMM gang. It's been a really, really good week with people joining in, and yeah, it's going to be a busy week this week as well. As I say, we've got this tonight on Gran Turismo Sports. We have also got the next round of our iRacing Championship tomorrow night, so do make sure that you tune in for that. And we've also got some footage from the weekend just gone, the Club 100 sprints round, which seeing if we can pull some of that together, because I think it might be an interesting insight for you. So the car's heading out on circuit. Very long circuit, of course, so the drivers are not going to get that many laps this evening. Out there. Let's have a little run through the orders. As I say, Tim Clark out again tonight. Jack Cameron Drayton, there he is in Team Red. Ryan Sandler, as I say, is now on board with us. Javier Garstidi Turner for Team Black, not running with a teammate tonight because I don't think we've got Steve Brown tonight. Luke Battersby there. Carrying the Bookmore Park logo, because I think we should say as well, really good news this week that Bookmore Park is going to be reopening, and yeah, I think that's one of the best pieces of news I've had all year, so great work by the team down there, and I hope we can get back down there as well as DDMM, either in a racing or a commentating capacity in the not too distant future. There is VQS, and we've got a few of the VQS Vanquish Esports guys in the chat tonight. Great to have you with us, Nathan Maxman. It's just in brilliant form at the moment. It really is going to be something to beat him or wrestle that title away from him. But this is a very, very strong field as well, so he's still got his work cut out, but he is in very, very good form. Outlap's done then, so drivers going on to their first flyers. See some support coming in from Ryan Sandel. Thank you, guys. I think he really wants to try and get some points back this evening from his title rival. There's a bit of a gap behind Luke Battersby. Yeah, there we go. We've got Trevor Randall in 7th place, who's running a fantastic early 90s, like 1990s Ferrari Formula 1 livery on his car. Kirth Cart's out there as well, and Callum Brule. So yeah, we are missing a few drivers. Only 9 of them running out on circuit at the moment. Going on board now with Tim Clark. Into the Laycombe chicane. Bit of the discussion before this round. Some of the drivers did some training with teammates of how to pilot this course. It is probably the hardest course to navigate on Gran Turismo Sport because of these weather conditions. Some of the advice has been to almost treat it like you would with the Club 100 carts. Of course, we had wet running at Wilton Mill this last weekend, especially on the Saturday, which made conditions very, very tricky. So yeah, just looking through the list, I don't think we've got Mark Ridouts this evening, or Toby Nichols. I've not seen GTP Toby out there on circuit so far. Luke Battersby has got a penalty here in the qualifying session, so he's going to have to forego his first flying lap on this one, but we're on board now with Nathan Maximin. Apologies if we've got a little bit of lag. We've got a couple of internet issues that we're working on at the moment at DDMM Towers. Good evening to RCF, who's joined us in the chat. Thank you to Lorenz XY as well, who's informed the 127 people in the VQS Discord. Thank you very much, mate, for passing on the stream. Much appreciated. Drivers coming to the end of their first laps here then at Spa-Francorchamps. Who is going to get the early good time in? See the two blue entries there. Team Blue, Ryan Sandel and Tim Clark. That's a very good time straight away from Ryan Sandel, 2 minutes 40.453. A few other drivers coming over the line now, and as expected, the lap times are pretty spread out to this evening. Very tricky out there, as we say. So at the moment, Ryan Sandel has pole position. It's an all Team Blue front row at the moment, with Tim Clark, there he is in second place. I wonder if there's a bit of tactics involved here. We have seen teammates work together before. Very good start for Trevor Randall. There he is in the Nigel Mansell helmet. Fourth place, second row of the grid for him at the moment. Luke Battersby is third on the grid, but has penalties, so I wonder if he'll have to sort that out in due course. Kirith Cali Rise had a good start as well in this qualifying session in the Brave Entos Racing entry. He's fifth on the grid at the moment, and he's up on his personal best in the first sector there. 3.5 minutes of this session to go. It's not long for the drivers at all, especially, as you say, it is a long circuit, Spa-Francorchamps. Sometimes see Formula 1 cars doing 2 minutes plus laps if the weather is particularly bad. Or at least that's how I like to remember it from back in the late 90s. Who else have we got out there at the moment? Callum Brule, there he is. He's on a 2 minute 50.556 at the moment. Whoa, big massive slide there from Callum. He's just about hooked that up. Jack Cameron Drayton at the moment. I think he had a spin on his first lap because he's definitely quicker than the 3 minute one. Where is he on the track at the moment? He's just coming through Pouon. One of the best corners on this circuit. I mean, all the corners on this circuit. I think it's why it's such a classic. I can't think of a corner on this circuit that isn't, you know, challenging or enjoyable, or both, of course. That's why it's such a driver's favourite. Cutting back to Ryan Sandel, there he is. So 2 minutes 40.453 was his first lap time. Can he improve? Can he further consolidate this position at the front of the field in the number 97, making his way through the bus stop chicane, a corner that's a complex of corners that's changed a lot over the years. End of the second flying laps then. Tim Clark improves, still in second place. Not as quick this time for Sandel. Good improvements from, in fact, a good few improvements. Javier Garstidi Turner has improved to the second row of the grid, third there. Nathan Maximin has improved as well, has gone to fourth place. Great lap from Jack Cameron Drayton, fifth place on the grid. That's a much better lap time. 2 minutes 41.446 is improved by some 20 seconds there. Great stuff from Jack. Looks like Callum's improved as well to a 2 minute 45.866, puts him in 9th place. So 60 seconds of the qualifying session to go. Trevor Randall has got a penalty, so that pretty much means his qualifying is over. He's not going to improve that 2 minutes 41, and indeed does cut to the pit lane. And in classic me fashion, I've forgotten whether this session ends bang on 0 seconds and just cuts to the lobby screen, or whether drivers are allowed to finish their laps. We'll find out in 34 seconds time. And at the moment it's looking very, very good for Team Blue with a lockout of the front row. Javier Garcia-Turner, as we say, is third on the grid at the moment. We've not had a look at Luke for a while. There he is, Luke Battersby. 7th place at the moment, 1.5 seconds. Inside 1.5 seconds. Currently is covering the top 7 drivers. There's Kirith Kali Rai. Time is now up. And yes, drivers will be able to complete their laps then. So the likes of Kali Rai and Bruel will be looking for improvements here to try and get themselves off the bottom of the order. For new viewers as well, this first race will be 20 minutes. There'll then be a short break, a little bit of a practice session. I'll probably go and grab some water at that time. And we'll then have a 30 minutes reverse grid race with fuel and tyre wear. And last week produced some really, really interesting strategies, especially around the middle portion of the race. Team Blue coming to finish their laps then. Ryan Sandel still on pole position at the moment here at Spa. Over the start-finish line, are there going to be any improvements? Not at that precise moment. Here comes Luke Battersby over the line. Can he improve from 7th place? Yes, he can. 4th place, really good stuff. But he's immediately bumped back to the 3rd row of the grid. Javier's gone onto the front row of the grid. Alfa M Silver Arrow to 2nd place. Looks like Nathan Maximin has improved as well to 4th place. Kirith Kali Rai's improved. Great stuff. Onto the 3rd row of the grid. It's got 6th place. Jack Cameron Drayton is still out there, in fact. So I was about to say he's finished in 7th, but he's still yet to come over the line. Callum Bruel improves to a 2:42. Here comes Cameron Drayton over the line. Is it going to be an improvement on 7th? No, it's not. And I think he knew it wasn't. Yeah, he's had another spin, so that was a 3-minute one. But there is a grid. Very interesting grid, this. Ryan Sandel has pole position for this one. Alongside him on that front row will be Javier Gorostidi-Turner. 2nd row of the grid, Tim Clark. I think he'll be pretty pleased about that, especially as there's a big, big, long run to Laycombe on lap 1. Someone's got to lead it out, and often gives opportunities to drivers behind to, you know, get a move up the inside, make some positions. I remember in the Formula 1 a couple of years ago, you had 2 racing points, or were they still Force Indies then? I can't quite remember, but them going 4 wide with Ocon and Perez challenging the Mercedes. I think it was the year that Hamilton and Vettel had a good fight in the title race. Lots of opportunities to overtake around this circuit. Nathan Maximin 4th. I think we'll be content with that. Puts him in a decent position for this race, but with work to do to carry on this winning streak. Of course, he won both races here in the Premier Lobby, Lobby 1 last week. 3rd row of the grid, there is Luke Battersby. He'll be in 5th position. Kirith Kali Rai in 6th position. 4th row of the grid will be Jack Cameron Drayton in 7th. An all-team red affair actually, with Trevor Randall there in 8th place. Callum Bruel will be 9th, but 2 seconds covering the whole field in that qualifying session. Race time then here in the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. Lobby 1, the Premier Class, round 3 of the 4th season of this competition. Under starters orders then are 9 cars here this evening. Can Ryan Sandel get back to winning ways? It's a great opportunity for him here at Spa in the wet conditions. Green lights, away we go then for 20 minutes in the Red Bull Junior car here at Spa. Good start for Ryan Sandel. He will lead into La Source for the first time. Very good start for Nathan Maximin. He's in fact challenging for 2nd and 3rd place, 3 wide as they come off of La Source that first time. Everybody is cleanly through La Source here on lap 1 and are now heading down the straight towards Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Here we go, the Marshall overlooking there, and it's a good start, as we say, for Ryan Sandel. Looks like Nathan Maximin has challenged up to second place. Yes, he has. So that's a really, really good response after the qualifying there on the second row of the grid. It's all jostling behind, but already the top two are breaking away from the rest of the field. Tim Clark holding there in fourth. Luke Battersby's had a good start as well. In fact, look at this, 4 wide almost as they're going into Laycombe, and Luke Battersby has muscled his way through there. If he can just hold Tim Clark round the outside, yes he can. He's got third place. There's contact behind with Kirith Kalirai. I think Kirith Kalirai is round. Yes he is. So Kalirai, after that really strong qualifying, it's all come to tears in Laycombe, and he's down to the back of the order. There he leads, Ryan Sandel ahead of Nathan Maximin. Luke Battersby up to third. Tim Clark still there in fourth. Gorostidi Turner in fifth place. Jack Cameron Drayton in sixth. Callum Brule's had a good start. He's up to seventh place. The top 8 now have broken away. Question of how many laps it'll be. I'm going to try and do some quick maths here. It will be less than 10 because the lap times, as we saw from qualifying, well above 2 minutes. It's only a 20-minute race, so I suspect it'll be probably about an 8-lap race. A timed race this. I should mention as well, of course, if drivers cross the line the wrong side of 20 minutes, they can sometimes look to be a lap down. They're not really a lap down, but we'll keep track of that as the race goes on. But Ryan Sandel has got a good lead at the moment, 0.9 of a second ahead of Nathan Maximin. Braking hard into the bus stop chicane. There's some battles going on behind. Tim Clark's having a look at Luke Battersby there, and Javier Gorostidi Turner in the number 6 just behind as well. Good battle going on between Callum Brule and Trevor Randall. Where is Kirith Kalirai in all of this? Unfortunately, he's at 11.6 seconds behind the rest of the field. That's really unfortunate for Kirith. Let's go on board with Nathan Maximin though, in the nose cam, heading up through the infamous Eau Rouge and then right over the top through Radion. Oh, just about keeping it in track limits there. Is he in the slipstream of Ryan Sandel? Let's keep an eye on that timer. No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Ryan Sandel Ruswold is pulling away there at the moment. So that is very good news for him if he can hold that gap. Obviously the effect of the slipstream has been changed back and forth a few times in recent updates. That's big drift there from Nathan Maximin. He's pushing really, really hard. It's a great battle going on just behind them between Battersby, Clark and Gorostidi Turner. Got to be patient in these races though. We saw at Fuji last week, which if you're just joining us and you're wondering how that all went down, you can go and watch that back here on the DDMM YouTube channel. If you've not checked out some of the vlogging that we did recently as well, that's on there. The vlog from the karting endurance race at Clay Pigeon in Club 100 a few weeks ago, and fingers crossed we'll be doing another one of those for Wilton Mill. We did have a couple of problems with technology on Saturday. All good reasons to subscribe to the channel here. Just having a little further look back at Callum Brule, who's holding himself nicely. Had a little bit of a slow start to qualifying, but has fed his way very nicely into this race so far. Back at the front of the field, Ryan Sandel has pulled out to 1.3 seconds over Nathan Maximin now. So that gap was around 0.8, 0.9 of a second last time around. We'll check them as they come over the line then. This is looking pretty good for Ryan Sandel at the moment. If we can keep this pace up, 2:40 last time around. In fact, no, that was his second lap, so that's 3 laps completed. 5.5 minutes of this race gone. Through Eau Rouge and Radion then for the leaders. They are pulling away from the rest of the field. Luke Battersby is also stretching a bit of a gap ahead of Tim Clark. 1.3 seconds is now the gap between 3rd and 4th place. Looks like Jack Cameron Drayton. Oh, I was just about to say Jack Cameron Drayton was starting to close down Javier in the Shadow Realm Racing Team Black car. He's just given himself a 0.5 second penalty now. For new viewers, there is a rule in this league, this Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport League, that any driver who has a penalty is not allowed to overtake a driver in front whilst they still have some of that penalty left. So Jack's going to have to erode that 0.4 second penalty away. No use of the FIA penalty lines in this one, so he can just ease out of the throttle a little bit to get rid of that. Similar for Callum Brewell behind, who's there in 7th place. He's got 0.6 of a second's worth of penalty to erode. Trevor Randall looks to be dropping off the back of the field. He has mentioned that this is a tricky combination for a pad user. He's still doing very well there in 8th place, holding the gap to Kirith Kalawai. Javier Gorostidi Turner still there in 5th place. He's had this very impressive start to life in Lobby 1, the Premier Class, promoted up from Lobby 2 in season number 3. He had a great fight in that season as well with the likes of Tom Fox and Toby Nichols, who both unfortunately aren't able to be with us here this evening. Hope to see them back out on circuit very, very soon. Back at the front though, 1.5 seconds now the lead for Ryan Sandel. This is looking all under control for the Season 1 and Season 2 champion. 12 minutes of the race to go. That's the end of lap number 3. Sorry, I got all my laps mixed up a few moments ago. So that's 3 laps completed over 8 minutes. What's that? That's going to take us 6 laps to 16 minutes. Yeah, I think we're going to be I think it's going to be an 8-lap race for the question in the chat there. In fact, that was a good couple of corners from Nathan Maxman. He's closed the gap to 1.1 seconds here in the wet conditions. Over the top of the hill through Radion onto the Kemmel Straight now. Still won't have the slipstream. Needs to be a little bit closer to start to get that toe off the back of Ryan Sandel's car. Breaking into Lake Om there is the race starting to shift. There is Luke Battersby still running nicely in 3rd place. Trying to bridge that gap as well across to the top 2. Tim Clark still holding himself there in 4th place. 5th place for Gorostidi Turner. What's happening just behind 6th and 7th places? Well, Jack Cameron Drayton has got rid of his penalty at this stage of the race, which is good to see. Callum Brewell still needs to get rid of 0.1 of a second, but they seem to be working together quite nicely at the moment, these two drivers. Still a long way in this race to go. It's almost a little bit like a BUKC race with the Sprint Duros. No point fighting too hard in the early stages of the race, because you're going to limit your chances of gaining more positions in the latter stages of the round. This being round 3, of course, of the 4th season for this championship. Hope you're enjoying the commentary. Hope you're enjoying the stream. If you are doing, and you wouldn't mind clicking the thumbs up, letting people know if you haven't already. Whoa, big moment for Callum Brewell there. Well, it's inadvertently almost got rid of the rest of his penalty, as he had that wild oversteering moment. I think he got on the curb a little bit. Kirith Kalirai still going round, by the way. I think he may have had another spin there because he's now 20 seconds behind Trevor Randall. The bit of solace that he'll have, though, is he will have pole position for the second race this evening, which will be round Interlagos in the dry in the Driver's Choice Group 4 race. Now, a few of you may have watched, whoa, is Kirith's going to have another spin there? No, he's going to hold on to it, but that was track limit, so he may have a penalty for that. Kirith didn't have a happy time in, well, specifically on the starting grid last week at Suzuka in the feature race. There's a little video about that up on his channel. If you've not checked it out already, do go give it a look. Back with our leaders, though, here now on lap number 5. Sandal has got the gap back to 1.5 seconds, so it was advantage to Sandal on that last lap. 2 minute 40.6 last time around for Sandal. What's the lap time like for NM1M? Nathan Maxman was 2:40.8. Still very, very quick lap times. Luke Battersby, how's his pace at the moment? It's not too bad, not quite closing in on the top 2 at the moment, but still in the 2 minute 40s. Tim Clark's pace, though, is starting to improve. He's now into the 2:40.7s, and I think he's pulling Javier along with him. So maybe starting to close up a little bit here for third place as we get into the, probably into the second half of this race now. 2:40.5 for Silver Arrow that last time around. Jack Cameron Drayton has another bit of a penalty to deal with. In the mid 2:41s at the moment. There is Callum Brule. Still advantage Ryan Sandal here in this race. In fact, it's even more of an advantage. He's now got the gap to 1.8 seconds. This is just what Ryan wanted, to try and get back on top of things in this title fight. The gap was 16 points after the first week of races, which was the double header in Japan at both Fuji and Suzuka circuits. Was on the podium in both of the races last week. Took a third place in race number 1 and then a second place in race number 2. But as you say, it was Nathan Maxman last week who got a double victory and fastest lap. There's of course bonus points for fastest lap in this championship, a bit like Formula 1. So he took the maximum 52 points. Just to mention as well, of course, we've got the second lobby going on at this moment. Just try and check in with them and see what's going on over in their lobby. Martin Robinson was your winner in one of the races last week. Ollie Smith the winner in the other one. In fact, I think, yes, the second lobby are on their final lap, and it's Harry Neal currently in the lead of that race by 3.2 seconds ahead of VP Cammers. Apologies, because I don't know the gamer tags very well. I will just check. It's Cameron Briggs. Cameron Briggs, of course, is in second place, I can tell you, in lobby number 2. Martin Robinson is 3rd. Peter Harris 4th. Ollie Smith is 5th. Sam Dimolo 6th. Eric Mignon 7th. Looks like Sam Taylor's had some issues though, because he's already been shown as having had the checkered flag. They're slightly ahead of us in terms of the schedule here in lobby 1. Of course, we have a slight delay to proceedings to kick off things here this evening. But if you do want to go and watch that, lobby 2, link in the description below to the DW Media YouTube channel. Do give David Whitehouse his support. Big part of the DDMM and Alpha Life family was on the cameras last on Sunday. The sprints round of Club 100, which if you missed, also had some great racing in it. We've had lightweight A final that I think is already one of the contenders for race of the year that DDMM will end up commentating across across the next few months. It was very, very good indeed. There's Luke Battersby. Looks to have consolidated this position now. He was under threat from Tim Clark a couple of minutes ago, but he's pulled that gap out now to 2.2 seconds. He's looking comfortable. And this will be good for his points tally as well. 4 minutes to go. Yeah, it's going to be an 8th lap race this. I'll definitely get a 7th lap in with time remaining, and then time will expire on the 8th lap. But as I say, yes, Luke Battersby has shown. I mean, he won races last year. We know he's got the pace. It's maybe not quite got the consistency that he would want at the moment, but he's working on that. And as I say, these conditions are not easy for the drivers this evening. So if he can close this result out, it'll be very, very good indeed. Gap closing at the front again though, 1.3 seconds now the lead for Ryan Sandel, so it was up towards 2 seconds on previous laps. Is Nathan Maximin starting to raise the pace again? 2 minute 40.7 last time around for Nathan Maximin in comparison to Ryan's 141.1, so I wonder if he made a mistake somewhere out there, because that gap has closed down again. Let's keep an eye on it, and in fact it's closing down even more. It's 1.2 seconds now for Nathan Maximin. Is he just holding a little bit in reserve across the course of this race? No tyre wear, of course, in the first race, so it's not that that's playing into the change at the front in terms of the gap. We will have tyre wear and fuel usage on in the next race. But Nathan Maximin is continuing to put his title rival under pressure here. Coming towards Blanchimont now. Stavelot corner first, and then the long run up to Blanchimont. This is the closest Maximin has been for the last couple of laps, but he's got a massive slide there. Can he hold on to it? Yes! Oh, big save from Nathan Maximin. I thought he may be going round there and he would have thrown a second place down the road. He's going to lose time though. Look at the gap increasing now, 1.25, 1.26 seconds. That just shows how tricky these conditions are and how hard these drivers are pushing here at Spa. Still Luke Battersby there in 3rd place, Tim Clark in 4th, Javier Aristide Turner in 5th place, Jack Cameron Drayton in 6th, Callum Brule 7th, 8th for Trevor Randall, and 9th for Kirith Kart Calais Rai. On to the final lap then, 1 minute 10 on the clock. 1.1 seconds is the gap, so Nathan Maximin has responded nicely, coming through Blanchimont and through the bus stop, riding back on board with him now. He's just lost a little bit as he's come down the hill to Eau Rouge. He's not going to be in that slipstream. I reckon all drivers are going to be getting over the line to do an 8th lap, which is good. Report confirmed from DW Media. David Whitehouse, Lobby 2, Harry Neal wins from Cameron Briggs and Martin Robinson, who continues to hold the championship lead. He got the fastest lap in that race as well. Fastest lap has actually just changed hands in this one. Nathan Maximin did a 2 minute 40.156 last time around, even with that huge slide that he did through through Blanchimont. It's not over yet. Time is about to expire. This will be the final lap. That'll be confirmed. There it is. Can Ryan Sandel, who's racing in the SP60 Championship on Saturday afternoon over at Wilton Mill, can he hold on here for his first victory of the season. Still as you were behind as well. Battersby, Clark, Gorstidi Turner, Jack Cameron Drayton, Callum Brule, and Trevor Randall. Did Kirith get onto a new lap? Yes, he did. So he'll see the proper checkered flag. He won't get subbed off a lap. Ollie Smith second in the points, by the way, in Lobby 2, having finished 5th in the 3rd race for their championship. But here it comes now. The gap is just over a second, surely. Ryan Sandel has got enough in hand here. Maximin will not be in the slipstream. He's got to be under probably 0.7 of a second to get the effect of that, and I think he's simply going to run out of time here. This has been a very well managed race from Ryan Sandel from start to finish. Had some problems in qualifying at Fuji, did not have them here tonight at Spa. Got pole position, led from the front, and has done a very, very good job over the last 20 minutes and takes his first victory of the season here in Lobby 1. Ryan Sandel wins round 3 of season 4 of the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport Series. Very close over the line for 3rd place, and I think Luke Battersby is just going to hold on ahead of Tim Clark and Javier Gorostidi Turner. I didn't mention that 2nd place, of course, has gone to Nathan Maximin, and he had the fastest lap of the race. Jack Cameron Drayton finishes 6th, 7th for Callum Brule, 8th will be Trevor Randall, and then after the lap 1 incident, unfortunately, Kirith Kalirai is only going to be able to finish in 9th place. Ryan Sandel takes the win. It's been a while since we've said that here in the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. Very, very close at the front indeed, as Essa says in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that first race of the evening. Here comes Kirith around the final corner to complete things here at Spa. Gives a flash of the lights. He will have pole position for race number 2. Gives it a spin over the line, and that is your result. Ruswald, Ryan Sandel wins by 0.7 of a second ahead of Nathan Maximin. Nathan Maximin will hold on to the lead in the championship, but that lead will be reduced as I quickly do the maths. It's going to be reduced by 4 points, so it'll be a 12-point lead heading into the next set of races. We're going to take a short break here on the commentary. There's going to be the practice session for the race around Interlagos heading up. We'll be back very, very shortly with more action here in the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series on the DDMM YouTube channel. Welcome back everybody to live coverage of the 4th season for the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sport Series. If you've just joined us, we've had race 1. It was won by Ryan Sandel ahead of championship leader Nathan Maximin. And we're moving on to race number 2 very, very shortly. It shall be a 30-minute race around Interlagos in a Group 4 car of each driver's choice. Some drivers are taking points penalties tonight, so if you do the whole season, well, you meant to do the whole season with the same car, but if you do want to change for whatever reason, there's a 10-point penalty, and a couple of the drivers have done that. It was a bit of an unfortunate change in the balance of performance last week when there was a game update, which meant a couple of the drivers had done all their practice for Fuji, got into, for Suzuka I should say, got into that Suzuka race and then found that the performance wasn't quite as it was earlier in the week. Hello to Paul Stanford, who wishes us good evening. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for joining us there in the chat. Let's try and get back out on circuit, show you a couple of the drivers out there on circuit on in his practice session, as you say. There's Nathan Maximin. Livery change for Nathan Maximin. He was in a more NASCAR-esque livery at Suzuka last week in his Mustang, but still in the Mustang. Is the championship leader. Kirith Kalirai has stuck with the Audi. Now that is interesting. Oh, we've had a lobby issue. Right, let's just go back to that then. We'll try and get this sorted as soon as possible. Does happen sometimes. Reminder of your championship standings. There they are. They'll be out of date, of course, now because we've had race number 3 of the season. Content coming up on the channel. Tomorrow night, 7:15 PM, we've got the next round of our Legends of iRacing Club 100 BUKC Championship, round number 6 of the season. We'll be at Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya, and we'll be in the Ferrari GT3s. Really looking forward to that tomorrow night. We had a brief practice race probably about a week ago, but I think will produce signs that tomorrow night will produce some really, really good racing, particularly in the reverse grid race, I think. So just under a slight pause here whilst we get the lobby back. It has had a moment on us, shall we say. If you're wanting racing action right this second, tell you lobby 2 is currently looking like this. Martin Robinson leading the race in lobby number 2. In fact, now they may still be in a practice session. Yes, they are still in a practice session. So we'll wait for lobby 1 to get back with us. I think Luke's just trying to sort it out over there. He'll be doing his best work to get that one back on the way. Tell you it's Sam Taylor who has pole position for lobby number 2. And in fact, let's do something a bit impromptu. Let's go and have a look at lobby number 2, just whilst things are getting back underway. We'll receive a notification when lobby 1's back up. But as we say, iRacing tomorrow night on the channel. Which will be a lot of good fun. This weekend we will be having another live commentary over on the Alpha Live channel, the second round of the Wilton Mill Kart Club, 4th Sunday of the month as always. So if you like your sprint karting, with all your mixes of classes, cadets, juniors and seniors, bumper grids again for that series. In fact, yes, let's see if this will now work for us. So here we are in lobby number 2. I'm not going to fully commentate on it because that's David's role. I thought we'd just show you who's in this one, show you some of the action. Whilst the lobby gets fixed for lobby number 1. It isn't quite up at the moment. At the moment, Sam Taylor is out front. There he is. Now, Champ 2005 has a very nice descriptive gamer tag title if you ever saw one. Is Steve still not around? Not this week, but he is still on the entry list. He's busy. He's busy this week. I can't say what he's busy with. Because I'm sworn to secrecy. Yeah, he's away from home at the moment, so he's away from his rig. Himself very nicely at the front at the moment. Let's have a look at some of our liveries. We like a good livery DDMM. This is a replica from Martin Robertson, who's a wizard when it comes to liveries. I'm trying to get a bit of a longer shot than that because it's a bit too sweepy. That's the problem with Interlagos, no long shots. Battle here between Peter Harris and Cameron just behind, just stuck with. Oh, someone's got a Jag. Well done. And they've got number 56. VP Cameras is my new favourite driver in Club100 Gran Turismo Sport Series with that choice of number and choice of vehicle. Well done. So if you're just joining us expecting Lobby 1, we are watching Lobby 2 at the moment because we've had some issues to the connections in Lobby number 1. In fact, I think Lobby 1 is now back underway, so we'll cut out of this. Show you while we're watching it. In fact, I'm just going to run through all of the other drivers. That's a cracking livery there from Eric Mignon, who's got his same race than he has in real life. But, yeah, if you want to keep watching this race, DW Media, the link to the channel is in the description below. That race will carry on for the next 26 minutes or so. Let's see if we can get things back up and running. I think Callum Brule is now going to be our lobby host. Apologies, some of the pictures aren't very aligned this evening. That's very shoddy of me. We'll take a short break here on the commentary, try and get Lobby 1 back up and running. We'll be back very, very soon for the 30-minute feature race round Interlagos for this evening. Welcome back, everybody. Lobby 1 is now back underway. Let's head into it now. Still in practice, I think. Just setting some of the rules and regulations. We were having a look through the drivers in terms of is anyone confirmed has changed their car for this week. Jack Cameron Drayton, I'm pretty sure, was in the BMW last week, so he's not changed. Trevor Randall was definitely in the Viper. I love that livery, not just because it's red and white, and if anyone knows me well will know why I like red and white things. I just think that's a really, really classic, crisp-looking livery. Javier, I think, has changed. Why do I want to say he was in the McLaren last week? I might be completely wrong on that one, but I think he has changed. 2 minutes till the start of this race. Luke Battersby is still in the Renault Megane. There it is, with the teeth and everything. Kenneth Callery, as we say, is still in the Audi, so we'll see if we can get off the grid better this week. Callum Brule has changed car as well, so he was in the McLaren last week. Good evening to Murray Adams. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're all ready for iRacing tomorrow night. So yeah, Callum Brule has changed car as well, as we say, so he will incur a 10-point penalty for the season. Plenty of time though for him to recover those points. Similar to what we saw with Steve Brown last season, he started off, I want to say, in the Peugeot RCZ when we were running Group 3s, and the Corvette in Season 3 was the massively OP car. So he took that points penalty and was able to work his way back into a strong position fairly quickly. Final has, well, the notification for the final has been begun, so we'll be getting underway with that race very, very shortly. And it is indeed time for the 4th race of this Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports season. Here is your grid. Kenneth Callery will be on pole position on the reverse grid. Trevor Randall alongside him on the front row. Jack Cameron Drayton and Callum Brule on row 2. Javier Gorostini, Turner and Tim Clark on row 3. Batters Racing Co., Luke Battersby and Nathan Maximin on the 4th row, and it should be Ryan Sandel on his own. Yes, there he is at the back of the grid, starting from 9th place. 30 minutes, away we go then. Better start this time for Kenneth Callery than he had last week. He has lost a couple of positions though already. That's the front wheel drive not helping him. Jack Cameron Drayton's going to lead us into turn 1 for the first time in this race. Good start for Callum Brewer's already up to 2nd place. Battle going on for 3rd place between Gorostini, Turner and Trevor Randall. On to the long straight towards turn 4 then. 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Look, here comes Kenneth Callery up the inside. Can he get a move done on Trevor Randall? Hard on the brakes there. Is there any contact? No, we're all clean as we go through, well, now into the infield section of this Interlagos circuit. Very, very tricky on the first lap to negotiate your way around here. There's a little bit of a tap, I think, between one of the Team Blue cars and Luke Battersby. Good starts for Jack Cameron Drayton. We saw a similar bit of work from him last week around Suzuka. Can he hold on to this here in the BMW M4? Which seems to be the car to have so far this season in the free choice race. Let's see if we can get some tyre information as well. See if anyone's done anything interesting on the tyres. So Jack Cameron Drayton lead has gone for soft. Callum has gone for soft. Javier has gone for soft. Trevor, Kirith, in fact, I think everybody has gone for soft tyres. Yes, they have. There's been a change at the back there between the 2 Team Blues. Ryan Sandel has got past Tim Clark, but end of lap number 1 then. And it is Jack Cameron Drayton leading the race here at Interlagos, going on to lap number 2. Callum Brule having a much stronger time this time round than he did McClexit on the front of this car, because of course he's exited the McLaren, gone into the BMW, but he's under attack here from Gorostini Turner, who's going to cut to the inside. Can the Silver Arrow get down the inside into turn 4, side by side? Beautiful textbook manoeuvre there from Javier. That's good for 2nd place, but here comes Callum Brule fighting back now as they turn hard left going up the hill. Brule will be on the outside now for the next right-hander. And oh, it's out on the grass. That's not where he wants to be. And Kirith Kalirai's cut in underneath him. So Kirith Kalirai's had a much better start this time. Got spat out to the back on lap 1 week ago. He's holding himself nicely here in 3rd place. This is good news for the leader though, because look at that, 1.6 seconds already for Jack out front. That's very good news for him indeed. How are some of our championship contenders coming through the field? Well, there's Nathan Maximan currently in 6th place ahead of Luke Battersby, trying to get past Trevor Randall. Apologies for a little bit of the lag that we're experiencing this evening. Have been some internet connection issues with the lobbies so far tonight. It's also one of the reasons why I don't race anymore. Nobody wants my lag. Down the inside goes Ryan Sandel on Luke Battersby there. That looks like a good move. Let's have a little look at that on a replay. So Sandel was tucked right under the rear bumper of the Renault Megane, got down the inside. There's nothing really much that Luke Battersby could have done about that one. And as I say, Griswold has got the position. There's been a further change there. How has Trevor Randall ended up out the back of the field there? Apologies, I didn't quite see what caused that, but Trevor Randall has now unfortunately been demoted to the bottom of the order. Still your leader though for Team Red, Jack Cameron Drayton. We saw pit stops 1 week ago. But they were spread over 3 laps, really. There was cases of both the undercut and the overcut. One of those two seemed to be the way to go last week. Those who pitted bang on 15 minutes in didn't do so well last week. So it'll be interesting to see on this one. I suspect it will be one-stop strategies for most, where everybody ends up. There's a penalty out there for Callum Brewell, who's got Nathan Maximan tucked up behind him at the moment. Let's try and go on board with Nathan. He's looking to the outside now of Callum Brewell as they go into turn 1 on the Senna S. And oh, Nathan Maximan muscles his way through there very nicely. Gets himself up to 4th position, and here comes Ryan Sandel as well there in the number 97. In fact, what happened there to Nathan Maximan? He cut to the inside. So, I wonder if he got a little bit out of shape there. I don't think he was defending. Alongside now are Sandel and Brewell. Brewell will have the inside perhaps. No, he won't. He's going to let that position go. In fact, no, he can't, because he can't overtake at the moment. So he's got to hold back. He's got to hold himself in 5th, 6th place. Oh, there's contact there with... Oh, that's going to be a little bit controversial. Contact with Ryan Sandel, who's now slotted back down to 8th position. Well, there may be some words about that one, because there are a couple of penalties out there that drivers need to deal with, and one of them is for Nathan Maximan, so it's really getting interesting here. Luke Battersby's trying to fight his way through. He wants to be clear and gone of this pack. And 3.3 seconds is now the gap to the top 3. They're going to focus on working with one another now. This is a huge opportunity for these drivers to get some points. And you know, I remember back to the start of season 3 when Kirith Kalirai took a race victory in a similar situation. The arguably faster drivers fighting amongst themselves allowed Kalirai to get away, who took, as I say, the win that evening. That was week 1 of season 3 when we were racing around Monza. This is a tricky position for Nathan Maximan. He's got to get rid of this second worth of penalty. Callum Brewell still has his 0.9 of a second penalty. Tim Clark looking up the inside now, trying to get the position back for Team Blue, and he's going to do a nice move up the inside. So your classic overtake through Desida Del Lago, and it looks like, yes, Ryan Sandel has got through as well, so that's both Team Blue cars up to 6th and 7th places respectively. Trevor Randall still at the back of this group. 22 minutes and 25 seconds of this race to go. Here's your leader, Jack Cameron Drayton, 1.4 seconds ahead of Javier Gorostidi-Turner. He's got Kirith Kalirai right on his rear bumper. And that TT, that Audi TT, seems much better suited to this Interlagos circuit. The front wheel drive, once it gets going, as I say, he has trouble off the start. The rear wheel drive cars are much better off the gridded starts. But get him in this situation, and he starts to thrive. Let's have a little check of the tyres. Well, unsurprisingly, the front tyres on the Audi TT are starting to feel the wear a bit. I suspect the brake bias that Kirith's got is as rearward as possible, trying to reduce the amount of work that those tyres are having to do. As I say, he is deliberately at this moment, well, I'm guessing here, educated guess, that he's not fighting with Gorostidi-Turner, because the hope is that they can work together and keep that gap to Nathan Maxwell, which currently is 2.7 seconds. Still though, Nathan has got that 1 second penalty, so he is going to have to deal with that at some point. At the moment, I think he's just trying to drive away from the rest of the field. Back with the battle in the midfield in this race. Luke Battersby at the front of it. There's been a switch to the Team Blues. Ryan Sandel has got past, and now they're going to be side by side. Is Ryan Sandel going to try and go round the outside of Luke Battersby? He is, and he's going to make it work. Great stuff from the winner of the first race of the evening this evening, but Luke Battersby trying to fight back here. Great racing here at Interlagos. Little bit of touring car door-to-door action between Battersby and Sandel there, and Tim Clark's now trying to get involved. Team Blue drivers trying to work together here, especially as they can see Nathan Maxwell starting to gallop down the road. Callum Brule's still got a little bit of his penalty to deal with as they come through Young Cow Corner and now turn up the hill. This long run. Will Luke Battersby try and get a move back down the inside of Ryan Sandel as they go into the Senna S? He's definitely having a think about it. The pace in a straight line of that Viper, it is very strong. Ryan likes the Viper a lot. We saw him use the GT3 version, the Group 3 version I should say, in season number 3. Ooh, he was a little bit wide though, a little bit offline as they came through the Senna S and now through Curva del Sol. Down the Retaposta. Big braking zone next with the Descida del Lago, but no opportunity for Luke Battersby to slip through. He holds position there in 6th place. Side by side, heading into the infield section. This is a great scrap. The thing is though, it is costing a bit of time out to those ahead. They'll be liking this. Nathan Maxwell has got rid of a little bit of his penalty, 0.1 of a second's worth of penalty. He's focused on just trying to drive up the road and get towards the top 3 here. They still are. Kirith Kalirai in 3rd, Javier Gorostidi-Turner 2nd for Arthur M. Silver Arrow. Question in the chat, who's on Team Red? Well, our leader is on Team Red. There he is, Jack Cameron Drayton. Jack CD. How are his tyres looking? Fairly even all round. The right hand side taking a bit more punishment, which isn't a surprise around this anti-clockwise circuit. One of the only anti-clockwise circuits on the Formula 1 calendar, of course. And, it's always been a tough one on drivers' necks. Jack's managing that tyre wear well. The other Team Red driver is in the pits by the looks of it. Is this an early pit stop for Trevor Randall, who's got a bit of wear on the front right? We'll just try and stay with this because I say we cut to the camera of where Trevor's meant to be. No, it's Callum Brule who's in. So Callum Brule has come in very early. Is he trying to do the undercut here, going for some fuel? 1.4 seconds worth of penalties at the moment. So Brule is going to have to deal with that at some point. there's your answer to who else is in Team Red. Trevor Randall in the Dodge Viper, the SRT livery machine. His tyres looking not too bad at the moment, taking care of those fairly well. Tim Clark. Now, Tim Clark is starting to get a little bit of a reputation of being almost the Sergio Perez of this championship and able to take care of his tyres. And look at that, he's dealt with the tyres very, very nicely. Not too much wear on those. A bit more wear on Luke's and a bit more wear on Ryan's as well. So Tim Clark's tyres looking in very good nick at the moment. Meanwhile, back up towards the front. Now, this gets interesting. Nathan Maximan has closed in, but has the 0.9 penalty. He cannot overtake Kirith Kalirai at the moment. So I would guess that now is the point at which he starts to erode that penalty away, whilst he's sat in the slipstream of the... Yeah, there you go. Starts to wean it off. That's 0.4 of a second gone. Good evening to Greg Smith, who's joined us in the chat. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you enjoyed the sprint racing from Wilton Mill on Sunday. Hope we see you back out on the circuit as well. We can get you in for the next streamed round, which is due to be at Rye House in July. A couple of rounds in between now and then, though. Visits to Lyd, Planet Lyd, which we're looking forward to in the mid-June weekend, and Glannygores as well, with a great circuit out there in the Welsh mountains. So 16 minutes to go in this one. We will see some pit lane action, I imagine, at the end of this lap. And oh, leader's off! Leader's off! Jack Cameron Drayton off in the grass, excuse me. Let's have a look at how that happened. This is all looking fairly normal as he's going through the infield section and through Pinerino. And yeah, oh, he just runs wide. He runs wide but keeps it pinned, so didn't lose too much time. That was a bit lucky there for Jack. Is he going to pit? And no, he's got a penalty. He's got a penalty as a result of the track limits. Now, is he going to pit on this lap? We're pretty much bang on the halfway stage. Yes, he is. And second place is going to be in as well. So Javier pits. Third place pits as well. Kirith Kart. I think yes, Nathan Maximan stayed out. So Nathan's going for the overcut. He did this last week and it worked pretty well. So going a lap longer than the halfway point in terms of time. I think Ryan's gone there as well. Yes, Ryan Sandal's gone for the overcut. Tim Clark has gone for the overcut. Now he didn't do this last week, but as we say, has kept his tyres in very, very good nick here, and he's right in there with his teammate. Pit stop's continuing. Look at the tyres on. Oh boy, you are a brave man, Kirith, going with this front-wheel drive Audi TT. He's got a new set of boots on there, some more fuel in there as well. And we'll drive to the end. There's Trevor Randall. Now, has Trevor pitted? I don't think he has. So I wonder, has Trevor had a problem? Because he's very... we'll have to work that out in due course as to whether he sneakily pitted before I was expecting him to. No, I think he has pitted. I think he's gone for the undercut. So he's not pitted bang on halfway. He's gone for the undercut. As oh, contact! Here we go. There's a bit of excitement for you between two BMWs. I think that was Javier Garstidi Turner getting past. Now, this is slightly controversial, boys, because you've both got penalties. You're not meant to be overtaking each other at this stage of the race, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We've not seen the full incident. And still fighting away. Javier Garstidi Turner and Jack Cameron Drayton. Looking further up the road, more pit stop activity. Now surely this is going to be the leaders, Nathan Maximan, Tim Clark and Ryan Sandal, all coming into the pits. It is, except Nathan Maximan's car has disappeared. What has happened there? There is Tim Clark in for his pit stop. Ryan Sandal is in the box as well. Fuel going in for Nathan Maximan. There are sounds of cars going by. Yep, so Javier and Jack will hold on to the lead then. Kirith is going to hold on to third. Is this a case of the overcut is not working this evening at all? There's Ryan back out in fifth. Ah, right, okay, yeah, so they've jumped out, they've jumped Kirith. So Kirith has slipped down to 6th place. That's a bit of a checkmate on Kirith there, because not only have they got track position, they've also got fresher tyres. What has happened as well with Tim Clark and fuel? Has he... now that is interesting. I think Tim Clark may have saved a bit more fuel as well as tyres, and therefore has had to... well, has had to spend less time filling up the tank, and as a result has jumped both his teammate and Nathan Maximin, who still has a penalty as well, has still got this 0.5 penalty. This is very, very tricky for Nathan tonight in terms of how he's going to be able to win this race. It's looking pretty tough at the moment. Still the top two battling away, still with penalties. I've lost complete track of who's meant to be overtaking who, to be honest. But I'm sure it'll all be reviewed on the replay later. Still 11 minutes of this one to go. A lot of time remaining for the drivers. Just to keep you updated on lobby number 2 as this race calms down a little bit as we go into the latter stages. Kirith Calirai still there in 6th place. Let's bring the tower back on because we don't need tower information. We know everyone's going to the end now. There's Luke Battersby. It's not quite worked for Luke Battersby, this strategy so far this evening, but there he is. Callum Brawl in 8th place. Trevor Randall will be hoping to catch back up. Keep an eye on this 3rd place battle. This is very, very interesting in terms of both the context of this race and the championship. Remember, Nathan Maximin cannot overtake Tim Clark at the moment. He's got that the 0.1 second penalty that he's got to deal with. Just to let you know, in lobby number 2, Martin Robinson is leading from Sam Dimlow at the moment. Ollie Smith in 3rd, Eric Mignon in 4th. They are 1 minute and 40 seconds away from finishing their race as well, so it's looking good at the moment for Martin Robinson. But Tim Clark continuing to do this almost pincer manoeuvre. Get my words out. I just wonder, is there a bit of tactics at play here to hold Nathan Maximin in this position? Tim's taking it nice and calm at the moment. He's not charging onto the back of Jack and Javier behind. And, oh, Nathan's almost got rid of the penalty. Now he has got rid of the penalty. Right, that's going to change the context of this race now. Nathan has got rid of the penalty, but Ryan is right on his rear bumper. You've got to think that Sandal's got to go for the manoeuvre here. He's got to get past. He's got to start closing these points down to be the halfway stage of this season at the end of this race. The gap is 12 points in the championship in favour of Nathan Maximin at the moment. Ryan Sandal needs everything in that talent bag of his to try and get a move done on his title rival here. Okay, maybe not be taking many points out of him by being 1 place ahead, but it'll be stopping him getting further up the road, because the higher up the order that you get, the bigger the points gaps between positions, similar to Formula 1. This top 3 though are closing in on the leaders though. 8.5 minutes. He's getting very, very close at the front. 1.2 seconds is the lead for Javier Gorostidi Turner. Jack Cameron Drayton there in 2nd place, but look, the gap is now starting to come down to the trio behind. 1.4 seconds is now the gap. Tim Clark still holding there in 3rd. Nathan Maximin has closed back onto the rear axle of the 2nd Viper in Team Blue in terms of championship scores at the moment. Is Nathan Maximin going to go for a move here? This would be a big overtake if he can pull it off. They're going to be side by side as they go into turn 1. Surely Nathan Maximin's going to have this one sorted. Yes, he is. Well, Nathan Maximin has got himself out of a bit of a hole here. This is really, really good stuff from the Vanquish Esports driver. Now surely for championship, if you're Team Blue, you have to switch your drivers now. But oh, again, Nathan Maximum weak off of turn 4, and he's going to be under attack here. Sorry, turn 3 I should say. He's just about got it all together, but that's not what he wants to do. Having just taken 3rd place, this is cracking stuff here at Interlagos this evening. Really, really tense. Just shows how close this competition is. Some really high quality drivers. Oh, his Maximan's a little bit wide. Does that offer the opportunity to Tim Clark to get underneath? No, it doesn't. Just holds there in 4th place, and still Ryan Sandel in 5th. For the 2nd time this week, I'm watching the climax of a very, very tense race. This is reminding me of, I say, that lightweights A final that we saw on Sunday afternoon. This is very, very good to see these drivers at the top of their game. Just to have a little quick look back, Kirith Kalirai holding there in 6th place. Has got 1.8 second lead over Luke Battersby, closing in between Trevor Randall and Callum Brewell as well. Back with the lead though. Javier Gorosidi Turner, 1.1 seconds ahead of Jack Cameron Drayton now. 3rd place, still Nathan Maximan. As always, Tim Clark going for a move down the inside. I thought he was going to go for the big send into the Senna S, but thinks better of it. Onto the back straight they go. Martin Robinson has won in Lobby 2. Sam Dimolo has finished 2nd, Ollie Smith 3rd. Martin Robinson will hold on to his title lead in the Clubman class, and further look like he may be rebounding and getting promotion back into this Premier class for season number 5. We carry on though here in Lobby 1, 5.5 minutes to go, and Nathan Maximan is not really closing in on the 2 BMWs, which I must admit is a bit of a surprise. Just wonder, has he taken a lot out of his tyres in this initial battle with the 2 Vipers? Let's have a look at the tyre situation. Well, that's not too bad. In fact, that's pretty good in comparison. Everyone's fairly even on the tyres. Maybe a little bit more wear on the BMWs, which could become a factor in the latter stages of this race. 5 minutes of this race to go. Penalties still in play as well. In fact, no, Silverarrow has still got that penalty. So this could come into play as well. In fact, if you took the penalty time away from Jack Cameron Drayton's gap, Nathan Maximan is going to be right up behind him. Very, very close indeed. Don't go anywhere. Question about, do teams of drivers in general communicate with each other during the race? They do. There is, they do have some party chats and discords where they talk to one another. Communicate both across teams as well. Is that a change? A bit of team orders perhaps between the Team Blues. Yep, Ryan Sandel down the inside, clean move. He moves up to 4th place. Provided the time to do that. They tried to do everything they could to get Tim Clark back ahead of Nathan Maximan, but now they've decided with 4 minutes to go that it's time to do the switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, covered by 2 seconds here at Interlagos. 3.5 minutes to go. Race will probably run to about 30 minutes and 30 seconds once we get on to the final lap. Still as we were further down the order, Kirith Kalirai in 6th, Luke Battersby 7th, Trevor Randall in 8th. Javier having to go defensive now. Still in the situation though, Jack Cameron Drayton, he cannot overtake, remember. He's trying to get rid of the penalty now. Oh, he's ghosted it almost into Nathan Maximan. It's getting very close to the front here. And Ryan Sandel's trying to get through as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 coming through turn 3 now. Who can take advantage of this situation? Javier Gorostidi-Turner is trying to defend. This is a really tricky situation because he's trying to get rid of the penalty and be on the defensive at the same time. Oh, Nathan Maximan's up the inside. He can overtake. He's free of penalties. He's free to do what he wants as long as it's legal at this stage of the race. Jack Cameron Drayton still trying to hold there. Oh, there's contact between the two leaders. And Ryan Sandall's on the inside. Oh, it's brilliant driving from Ryan. He's gone up the inside of his title rival. He's gone up the inside of all of them. What an overtaking manoeuvre there by Ryan Sandall. And it's put him at the head of this field. Nathan Maximan has gone up to second place. Let's have another look at that again. So it was on the run through Ferradura. He got up the inside, took the opportunity. That was expertly done. Very, very nice from Ryan Sandall. And now the two usual contenders are out front again here at Interlagos. Check the time. There's going to be one more lap after this one. And Nathan Maximan is on full attack here. Still a great scrap going on behind him for third, fourth and fifth. On board now with Nathan Maximan. Ryan Sandall surely is going to have to go defensive here. He's going to have to get his elbows back to hold on to this victory. It would be his second victory of the evening and would even it up as well. Crucially, Ryan has got the fastest lap at this stage as well, on to the Reto Aposta. Still so close between these two drivers. Two of the top drivers in the UK in Gran Turismo sports at the moment. Nathan Maximan's trying to go around the outside of Ryan Sandall. That's going to get very interesting. Is Sandall going to run him out wide? Yes, he is. And Nathan Maximan's on the grass slightly. Will he have a track limits penalty because of that? No, I think he's just going to hold. He got away with that one. More opportunities, though, to come for Nathan Maximan to try and get through. There's still drivers behind with penalties that they're going to have to sort out before the end of this race. Sandall goes slightly defensive. As they go through the technical part of the course now, it's all going to be about the run out of Young Cow to the finish line. This is much closer than we had it before in the Spa race early this evening, but it looks like Ryan Sandall is almost, he can smell the finish line. One more braking zone into Young Cow, out of Young Cow. He's run a little bit wide. Oh, is Nathan Maximan going to have the run here as they come over the top of the hill? GM versus Ford here, and it looks like Ryan Sandall is going to hold on for his second victory of the night, his second victory of the season, and a big moment in this championship. Ryan Sandall wins it. Second place for Nathan Maximan, third for Jack Cameron Drayton. A great result. Fourth place for Javier Gorostidi-Turner. Fifth for Tim Clark, who was a big factor in that race. Sixth for Kirith Kalirai, one of his best results of the season so far. Luke Battersby 7th, 8th for Trevor Randall, and it's going to be 9th for Callum Brule. Well, what a race here at Interlagos. There's your final result, and Ryan Sandall, I think, held on to the fastest lap as well, takes a maximum 26 points. He was indeed on the fastest lap, and that will close the title battle by another 6 points. It'll be down to 6 between Nathan Maximan and Ryan Sandall. What a race. Well, wow, just catch my breath after that one. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, make sure that you leave a like in the chat. And if you want to watch more of this kind of action, do make sure that you're subscribed to the DDM YouTube channel. As we say, tomorrow night we'll be back with some iRacing action. Round 6 of the iRacing Legends of BUKC and Club 100 Championship. As a round Barcelona in the GT3 Ferrari. Some of your comments coming in. Paul Stanford says, great race, great finish from Ryan and Nathan. The Simps say, oh my G, absolutely insane race. David Whitehouse confirming second race in Clubman was indeed Robinson from Dimelo. Smith with a brilliant fuel saving strat to get third. Netcode is giving me the dizziness. Yeah, apologies, Greg. We had some internet issues earlier about in the evening, which meant we've been on a Wi-Fi connection tonight, which is not as good, obviously, as a wired one. But yes, tomorrow night, as we say, we'll be back 7:15 p.m. UK time, and should be a very, very good. In fact, let's check how many entries we've got at the moment for the iRacing tomorrow night. In previous rounds, we've had upwards of 35 drivers out on field on the circuit, which my CPU absolutely loves when we're trying to stream that. But no, it's great to have so many drivers involved in that championship. And if you are a Club 100 and BUKC driver, and or BUKC driver, I should say, past or present, and you are an iRacing, you can get involved in that championship. Let's head to C100 iRacing for all of the details on that one. Apologies, I'm padding because I'm trying to find the entry list for tomorrow night and let you know how many drivers we've got involved. Whilst I'm doing that, do make sure you subscribed to the Alpha Live YouTube channel. We will be with them on Sunday, myself and James Johnston. We will be at Wilton Mill for the second round of the Wilton Mill Kart Club Championships. Another bumper field. I'm very much looking forward to that one. Coming weeks as well, I should pay mention as well to this event, because there's quite a few of the drivers that you've seen here this evening involved in this one. We're going to be commentating a bit of the Daytona Milton Keynes 24 Hours. As I said, there's a team of Kirith Cali Roy, Ryan Sandel, Eric Mignon, and I want to say Sam Dimlow's in that team as well. So a bit of a Club 100 GT Sports team racing in that one. Apologies, I cannot find the entry list for tomorrow evening, but trust me, it will be big, it'll be spectacular, it'll be a lot of good fun. So make sure that you're subscribed and they've got the notification bell pressed for that. Tomorrow night you can comment on me crashing, says David Whitehouse. So yeah, lots of content coming up as well. We've also helped you out, everybody, with the various other social media accounts. We are now at _MM on pretty much everything. Facebook, Instagram and Twitter all have the same handle. You're very welcome. I thought it would be a good idea, instead of saying _Motorsport Media, which is quite long to type out on Facebook. So at _MM if you're on those platforms. You don't mind giving us a like and a follow. It really, I know it sounds corny, but it really, really does help us out as we build the channel and the platform here. But I think we're going to wrap things up for this evening. Congratulations, as I say, to Ryan Sandel, who's really hit back hard in this championship with a double victory here tonight. It's closed the championship gap to 6 points, and we will be back next week, same time, 9 PM for week 3 of the 4th season for the Club 100 Gran Turismo Sports Series. My name's been Andrew Mather. You've been watching the DDMM YouTube channel. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. See you tomorrow night for the iRacing, and until then, take good care and have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your time.